go over to reggaeglobalradio.com. Call your friends, tell your friends, friends of your enemies, enemies of your friends, tell everybody. Reggae Global Radio is the place to be for the remainder of this broadcast. Before I get into the secret ingredient, I want to do one thing. You know what it is? It is that little thing that we call pre-life. And as I pull up pre-life, for those of you who don't know what pre-life is, it's the take that Red Fox has on everyday life. And he calls it pre-life. And here is a little promo.
Yes, my people, check out I Red Fox on Reggae Global Radio every Saturday at 8 p.m. with Kev Stew, where I'll give you a pre-life, brand new, good for you. Kick it like a ball if you don't say a dance song. You hear that? When I say up full, more than a cup full, make it spill, overfill, level, rich from me bond, good to be here. Earth is beyond every season my beer. My father in charge, him rule everywhere. All in my favor, my heavens them clear. Life how me live, it a come with a spear. Treat myself better than a billionaire. No smoke cigarette cause my lungs too dear. What's sweeter than your breath? Nothing to compare. No job or no house or no car where you steer. No jewelry, no shoes or no clothes where you wear. Can never come close, cause life can't repair. That's why me drink tonic and not two drink beer. Man, I'm no bionic, protect your hardware. Keep your liver cleaner than your nice chandelier. Your heart is a giver, one big love affair. Your blood is like a river, so keep the stream clear. Your kidneys, your bladder, them do them fear share. All work together, keep well, take care. Life is priceless, there's no souvenir. Total niceness, some Satan fear. Hogwalla in a mud, birds fly in a ear. Some people dream good while some have nightmare. Some people live simply, some plagued with fear. Stifle themselves till them breath disappear. If you know what life worth, you'll get yours here. Just like the bees, just like the beer, just like the fox, just like the deer, just like the grass where you grew everywhere. Man richer than all these things, you hear? Man richer than all these things, you hear? Man richer than all these things, you hear? Man richer than all these things. Pray life, up full, more than a cup full. Stay blessed.
In these times, you must understand your value, understand your worth, understand that man richer than everything that you see around you. Hey cuz, how you doing? How's the weather in Jamaica? So it's that time where we say see you to Facebook Live. Come on over to kevinstew.com and get to enjoy some of this vibe that we're going to be diving into now. Good on me. Ooh la la, pure alone. Because understand that it feels good, it feels so good. Ooh la la, pure alone. It feels good. Good on me. Facebook Live deuces to you. Reggae Global Radio is the place to be. Love across the sea. Come on over right now. Pure alone. Just like sunshine. In the background, the sound of Marty Dread, Hawaii's ambassador, reggae music ambassador. This one is called Pure Aloha. If you want to know about it, come on over to Reggae Global Radio. Ooh la la, ooh la la, ooh la la. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where I get to enjoy myself because waiting in the wings. Let me see if the audio alright. You can hear me, brethren? You hearing me clearly?
Yes, you hear me?
Yes, man, I'm hearing you quite well. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I present to you my secret ingredient for today. No, listen, I haven't announced it yet. Y'all can't start clapping. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only, the man himself, the one that said, yo, it's pure aloha. Marty Dread. Marty, how you doing? Wait, is what going on?
Well, I'm just living that life right now.
Oh, okay. It look like you're taking
a good life now.
It look like the sound taking a while to reach across your side. You know, when you're on the other side of the country, several time zones away, I guess the sound takes a little while to reach across to you. I don't know. Oh, we have a little bit of a delay.
But life is good. I'm just...
Yeah. Marty Dread, welcome to the Saturday Stew. Welcome to Reggae Global Radio. And I know you're not strangers with some of the Reggae Global Radio connections, but to the Reggae Global family, I want to welcome you. First time on, I've been playing your music every now and then, so people get familiar with some of your tracks and not familiar with your name. And now they get to meet you in person.
Nice one. Well, hello, South Florida.
So, Marty, you are hailing us all the way from where?
Maui, Hawaii.
Now, listen, let's talk life, because we're going to talk some music in a little bit, but let's talk life a little bit. How is the recovery in Maui right now? Because y'all had some serious storms. What was that, 2 weeks ago? How has it been?
Well, thankfully there was no loss of life, just mostly a lot of property damage. But we're getting through. You know, we have all the tractors outside cleaning up things. So, you know, it's just really a matter of bouncing back. Like after every big storm, you have to clean up afterwards. So right now in the cleanup process.
Gotcha. Boy, what was it like with a storm like that one rolling through? Because, you know, people hear Hawaii, they think beautiful weather and everything is just good. You know, when we were getting the news about this winter storm rolling through Hawaii, I was like, what? What's going on here?
Yeah, they were trying to say there was going to snow.
Yeah.
How can it snow in Hawaii? That never. I was thinking maybe the last days they speak about did come.
Yeah, that's.
But it did not. But it was very, very windy and very rainy. It was kind of scary actually, because we didn't get any notice. It was like we had zero notice. It was just all of a sudden it was just upon us.
Yeah.
So it was a bit scary, but that's the time when you know what your strength inside is,
right.
What your belief in this is. When something like that buck up against you, you have to know who is the real one.
Right,
you know?
right. But there was some real serious snow. I saw a couple of pictures up in the mountains.
Yeah. Way on top. We have in the world above sea level. It's I think it's 15,000 feet above sea level. So we have one of the tallest in the world.
Yeah.
And it was we don't get snow that often. Every 3 to 5 years.
Right.
So to see real snow, it was rare for sure.
Yeah.
It was rare.
Yeah. Well, thankfully for Hawaii, they have people with warm hearts and good music makers like you. So it keeps things looking bright.
Yeah. Those things don't phase us because we get tidal waves, we get hurricanes, we get earthquakes. It seems like every year we get at least one big disaster. So we're kind of used to it out here.
Yeah.
Kind of, It's hard to get used to something like that, but it don't rattle your bones as much. After you go through 7 or 8 of them, it's like, okay, something else we'll probably survive this one too.
Right. You know, most, like I said, most people, when they hear of somewhere like Hawaii, it's just paradise. You don't have things like this happening. You know, people hear about Jamaica, they think about the coast and the beach and weed. And they hear about Hawaii, they think of just paradise. Grass skirts, beautiful women with leis, greeting you with a lei and a pretty smile. You know, that's the kind of imagery people get. Not hurricanes, well, storms and earthquakes and such. Tsunami.
Well, as you know, the planet is changing very rapidly, faster than even it's expected it to change.
Yeah.
So we have to know that these things are coming, to be aware,
right,
you know, and not really deny what, because the science says that we're in for some dread times, and the music always reflects that also, especially in reggae music, that we speak about these things and try to make people aware that it's not all wine and roses. Some dread stuff is coming our way, so we have to stay, you know, as the song say, the fittest of the fit shall survive. So we have to be ready for stuff like that.
But even talking about the music, you yourself talk about some of these things in your music. You have some tracks where you talk about some of these things. And
I do. Yeah, by the way, when you played first, Pure Aloha,
yeah,
it was written for a music festival in but there's so many Hawaiians live in Las Vegas.
Okay.
So that was written for this music festival. Shakespeare played bass.
Wait, hold on, hold on, Marty. You're breaking up a bit. Marty, you hearing me? Marty? I hope I didn't. Okay. I think we got you back. You hearing me? Marty?
I hear you fine.
Okay, great. So we lost you there for a moment.
Hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now.
Yes,
so we lost you there for a brief moment. You're saying that song Pure Aloha was written for what?
Music festival in Las Vegas called Pure Aloha.
Oh, okay. Nice.
I wanted to say that Robbie Shakespeare playing bass on that song. Sly and Robbie together.
Yeah.
But I wanted to, you know, say my condolences to the reggae. Oh, Robbie, he was a good friend, and of course.
Yes, yes. Oh, geez. This connection is really hurting us today. Hey, Marty. Marty.
Yes, sir.
All right, so I don't know what is going on with our connection. I'm gonna try to reconnect with you using a voice only line and see if we have a better reception, because this is not working out too well right now. So I'm gonna call you right back, okay?
All right, sounds good.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let me pull up this tune, Pure Aloha. In fact, let me take it from the top while I reconnect with Marty. Okay, let's see if we can get to chat with you. So, people, you won't get to see him right now, but you can connect with him on social media. You can see him there. Normally, I would have a picture up in lieu of something like this happening. Maybe I can grab one real quick. But in the meantime, welcome back, Marty. So you were saying...
Thank you.
You were saying Robbie Shakespeare was playing bass on this track, Pure Aloha?
Yeah, Sly and Robbie play on that song.
Yeah.
And I would just wanted to, say condolences to the whole reggae community, really, because he was such a stalwart in the game.
Yeah.
And I got to do many, many songs with him and stage shows also. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to make mention that was him playing on that. That's what give it kind of that vibes,
Yeah, yeah.
Part of it was him. Yeah.
He was quite a talent. So
Truly.
let's talk a little bit about Marty and reggae music. Reggae music ambassador to Hawaii. How long had you have to be? Does one have to be playing or doing music to get such an accolade? You have to be doing this for a while. What's the history?
Oh yeah, I've been doing it since the 80s. But I got the title from reggae musicians. Let me just back up a bit. I started in 1986. I had a radio program. Was the first ever radio program in Hawaii to feature reggae music. It was called the KAOI Reggae Radio Show. It was 1 hour, and it became so popular, it went to 5 hours, and then it went to all Saturday night, and then we got enough sponsors to 20% reggae music on the radio. So that's still what happens today. So because, reggae music is so much more than just Bob Marley, a lot of people in Hawaii only knew Bob Marley. They didn't know Gregory Isaacs. They didn't know Dennis Brown. They didn't know John Holt, Sanchez. Nobody really knew these other artists. So through that radio program, I got to educate the general public here about so many other artists. And when these artists started having hits, they all started touring here. Mm-hmm. So we saw in any given year, we might see Black Uhuru, Aswad, Maccabee, basically every reggae act, Toots and the Maytals, Jimmy Cliff, they all toured here. But when they would arrive, because I was kind of the link because of the radio station, I was the guy to meet them at the airport and give them flower lace and herb or whatever they need. I was there always. So anytime a Jamaican touched down in Hawaii, they always say, where am I today? Like they always wonder, where am I? Because I'm the guy who always greet them at the airport and get them what they need. So that's how I got the name Reggae Ambassador, was by meeting all of these guys at the airport. And also driving them around. Like when Toots, God rest his soul, when Toots came here, it was during Hurricane Hugo, and I drove him to all kind of stores to get dry goods to send home to his family, and we had a real good time together. But it was a heavy time for him because he was this far away from Jamaica when they were going through that hurricane. Right. So I am always here to help these artists to be comfortable in Hawaii, and that's how I got the name. So I've been doing that since the 80s, since 1986. And still to today, if Junior Gang come here, they check for me. They say, where's Marty?
No.
So it's a nice thing to be able to be that liaison for the music for the artists that come here.
A friend of mine was the one that connected us, and she tells a story, basically the same story you just told. With you being this reggae ambassador, she was going to Hawaii, and she actually called you. It was suggested that she contacted you.
Mm-hmm.
So big ups to Janice. Thank you for the link. Thank you for introducing me to Marty. Much love to you.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
And she herself is quite the talent. Member of the group that used to exist. They still exist as individuals. They don't sing as a group anymore. Wild Tree. And Reggae Global family has heard me play the 2 full tracks that I have for Wild Tree. They've heard me playing them. But yeah, I love Wild Tree. All right, so back to you, Marty, because
She sent me that one of the singles recently, so I just finally got to hear it.
she did what?
She sent me one of the tracks, so I finally got to hear it.
Okay. Yeah, man. Wild Tree. Yeah, I miss them as a group. I can tell you. I'm looking for a nice picture of you that I can steal and use on this right now. Anyway, so you were in the music business from a broadcaster's point of view, being a radio host, a radio DJ. And were you recording at that time? Or did you start recording after?
In the beginning, no. In the beginning, I was really just being the host, but I had access to all of this great music before everybody else did. So I was the guy who would sit down and listen to a new album by Frankie Paul and pick the hit song. That was my job. Pick the song that I think people would like. So I got to hear so much good music before everybody else. So because of that position, I became pretty proficient at choosing songs. And when I started writing my own songs, that was very helpful for me to crafting songs that people would remember and songs that people would resonate with. So when I became a writer and eventually a recording artist, my recording career started in 1992. My first single was called Wicked Wahine in 1992. And Wicked Wahine was my first number one in Hawaii. Literally, I was in high school and I had a number one song on the radio.
Oh, wow. What does Wahine...
Yeah, that was my first one.
What does Wahine mean?
Wahine means... It's a Hawaiian word for female. It's like you could... Wahine is girl, but Wicked Wahine is like basically saying... It's like Justin Hines' tune called Jezebel. You know that song?
No, I don't know that song.
It's basically that.
But...
You don't know that song? Anyhow,
Wicked Woman.
It's a funny song. Yeah, Wicked Wahine. It was about a girl who, she likes to be around all the reggae stars because she thinks they can carry her around the world and give her diamonds and pearls. But when she realized I was just a regular guy, she moved on to the next grade.
Oh, so it was a true story.
Oh yeah, very true. That's probably why people liked it so much, because they could tell it was real.
Wow. I'm not laughing at your demise, I'm laughing at the fact that these wicked hyenas out there.
We live and learn, right? We live and learn.
There we go. So do you write from that perspective, from the angle of, this has been my experience, let me put it on paper. This is what I'm going through, let me put it in song?
Usually, it's not usually about me personally, but Hawaii as a collective. For instance, if there's something going on in the community that's a hot topic, I always touch on it.
Okay.
You would call it social commentary.
Yeah.
That's kind of like I'm known for my social commentary. Yeah.
Now, I found one of your tracks really interesting. As you talk about social commentary, you touched on the fact that things are changing in the world, and as a result, we're going to experience some things in nature that we're not used to, like it being really warm this Christmas in parts of the United States. One of the tracks that you have in your vast catalog is one that speaks to GMO, no to Monsanto.
That's also Sly and Robbie also on that song.
Oh, nice. So you did quite a bit of work with Sly and Robbie.
Yeah. I had probably a couple albums worth of material with them.
Oh, sweet. So, talk to us a little bit about that song, because that's like a powerful statement in and of itself. No to Monsanto. I do a health show. One of my broadcasts on kevinstew.com is actually a health show. Every Tuesday, I do a health broadcast, and I've addressed things as it relates to Monsanto before. When you put out a song, No to Monsanto, what was going on at the time for you to do something like that?
No, first off, nobody in Hawaii really knew that Monsanto had a plant here on my island in Maui. It was the biggest, actually the largest seed testing ground in the world. They were doing it here on my island, but very top secret.
Mm.
And I started this conversation in my community. Like, these guys are practicing this very unsafe practice in our backyard because they were trying to get Terminator seeds. If your audience doesn't know what a Terminator seed is, what they did was they buy up all the small seed companies and they put their own seed into the market, but that seed does not really grow. You have to go back to them. It dies after one blooming. So you have to go back to them to buy the seeds every year, basically. So it's a real wicked intention. You know, you should be able to save your seed and grow it again next year. People have done that for thousands of years.
Right.
But with Monsanto's vision was that they would control all seeds. So if you control all seeds, you control food. You control food, you control life.
Exactly.
That was my point in the song, right? So I started this conversation with this little song. And luckily, the radio stations out here were brave enough to play it because, you know, it's almost slanderous if you check it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like David and Goliath. I'm going up against this huge company that has lobbyists and all of this stuff.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, you know, you have to make these choices with your body, what you put into your body, to be aware of what you eat. But also, the stronger message of the song was our power is with our pocketbook. The products we buy in the store, like Post cereal, all this stuff that kids like, and a lot of them are full of GMOs. But if we don't buy those products, those guys cease to exist. Exactly. So that was really the underlying message in the song. The underlying message was be aware of what you're buying and putting in your body. You know, so yeah, it was a pretty heavy statement that they went over a lot of people's heads. But like I said, at that time, people didn't know. Some people knew what GMOs were, but they didn't know that Monsanto was the company at the time. Since then, they've been bought up by a bigger company, and you know, I think that was part of their strategy to take off some heat from them because there was a lot of lawsuits. People were getting cancer because, you know, their products sometimes can cause cancer. So anyway, it started a conversation. A lot of people didn't know that Monsanto even was a company. People come up to me on the street and say, "What is Monsanto? What are you talking about in that song? When you say no to Monsanto, what are you telling us to say no to?" So that was my chance to have one-on-one conversations with people in my community and educate them of what I thought I knew at the time about this company. It was a really good conversation starter.
Yeah, yeah. You know,
and of course, Sly and Robbie were the backing, so it was hard as a rock. So it was easy to sell that song.
Right? Yeah,
it was such a good rhythm.
Now, is this song still being played on?
Are you still with me?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. Is this song still being played on the air in Hawaii?
Well, it was in heavy rotation for about 6 months. It was on the air every day, maybe 3-4 times a day. So it became part of the pop culture for a minute there.
Oh, nice.
And I got to tell your listeners a story, a very cool story actually. Mm-hmm. My band was playing a concert here. They do this thing called Fourth Friday, where every Fourth Friday they do a free concert for all the citizens of Maui outdoors. So my band was scheduled to headline one of these concerts. And when I was on my way, some of the band members were at the venue early and said, "Marty, the police are here. This festival is sponsored by Monsanto, and they say if we sing this song on stage, they're going to arrest us tonight."
Oh, wow.
I said, "What? This is America. This is freedom of speech. We can say what we want." But turns out, because we called their name, their actual name, they had, we were liable for slander. So the police came right to me right as I pulled into the venue. They guided me to my parking spot, and the police said to me, "If you sing this song, you're slandering these guys, and we're going to arrest you right on the spot." So it was just a very rock and roll moment. Me and the band had to look at each other and say, are we going to jail tonight? Or are we going, what's happening here? Because the people was ready. We hadn't played it in public yet. It was a big hit for us, and we hadn't played it in public. So everybody was like waiting to hear it. Crowd was calling for it as soon as I touched the stage. Monsanto! And the police was right next to me, right beside the monitors. He was like, if you say the word Monsanto, you're going to jail. I said, Brass, what do I do? So I asked the band, I said to the band, because the bands all have children and families, and, it was around Christmas time. And I said, guys, we have to make a decision. We're going to jail tonight, or we're going to do this show and don't do that song. And none of them wanted to do it. So I kind of felt like the band kind of mutinied on me. They were like, hey, we got families to support and stuff. And Marty, we believe in you and your politics or whatever you're trying to say about this song, but we don't want to go to jail tonight. We got to go home to our families. Right. So I just did a little speech. I stood up and, I did a little speech on it, and we didn't necessarily play the song, but, it felt very oppressive. It felt like what would happen in an apartheid system where they tell you what you can and cannot say. But I got to realize in that moment how powerful these companies are. They sent their evil forces to make sure I didn't slander their name at an event that they sponsored. But the cream on this story is I never once played that festival again. The band boycotted that, and they call us all the time to play it. And I asked them the same question: is Monsanto still your sponsor? They say yes. I said, all right, we're not playing.
We're not doing it.
So at least there's that. Yeah. We've never done it since. Yeah. We didn't know. We didn't know Monsanto was a sponsor.
You see, these are some of the little things that go on behind the scenes that people don't know of. So I'm glad you get to tell this story. As a result of that, even I didn't know the story before this, and now more than ever, people are going to be hearing me play this song. As a matter of fact, it's the very first tune I'm going to play when we're done talking. I'm going to have you introduce it, and I'm going to play that tune. No to Monsanto.
Give thanks.
One of the big things, big news coming out in the music world. This is like your Christmas present. You had a Grammy nomination.
Actually, I have to correct you there. I was in the top running, but this year, for the first time in 40 years or so, the Grammys were chosen exclusively by voting members of the Recording Academy. So what you have to do now to even get a nomination is you have to, I hate to use this word on the air, but you have to kiss ass to people who are voting members and get them to vote for your project. So, for instance, there was four reggae category, 4 Marleys, and not one of them got nominated this year. Why? Like, for instance, like Gramps Morgan got a nomination. Yeah. He went to Nashville, where a lot of voting members live, and he made friends with people, and he went around and shook hands and, made alliances with people who vote, which was smart for him. I'm very happy that he did that, because he got nominated for a Grammy for his project. Right. So the people who got nominated have alliances with voting members, and that's how. So I never made the top 6. I was in the running of the final ballot, but when they announced it, my name wasn't on that list. So. Oh,
sorry about that. But now that you explain you explain it, I get it. So is that what they're moving forward with in the Grammys?
It seems so. It seems so. There's an artist that got 11 nominations. His name is Jean Baptiste. He's a musician from New Orleans kind of guy who, I think he has a spot on The Tonight Show or one of those TV show bands. Mm-hmm. This guy got 11 nominations. He has a lot of voting member friends in LA. I mean, the epicenter of the Grammys is LA. But he's very known because he's on TV all the time, and all these musicians know him, and all these music folks know him. And he got 11. I mean, nobody before this ever even heard of this guy. He's got 11 nominations this year.
Yeah, no clue who
so
he
that
is.
Should tell you pretty clearly that it's about who votes for you. It's not about popularity. It's not about record sales. It's about who you know, who you can schmooze, that can vote for you to get you in.
It's interesting to see where the Grammys is going, moving forward with taking things like this into consideration. Are we going to have more people seeking out these voting members to befriend them bribe them? What?
Well, that's what it's moving toward.
Boy.
But this year was interesting, though. We had some hardcore dancehall people get nominated, like Spice.
Yeah.
First time ever a female hardcore dancehall artist was nominated for a Grammy.
Mm-hmm.
And Sean Paul was in the running, which is great. I mean, Sean Paul won a couple Grammys already, I think.
Right.
But, you know, it's different. It shakes it up a little bit because there was a vibe out there. Like some of the Marley kids, obviously they're all very talented, but there was a time when a Marley won, like 7 years in a row. It was a Marley that took it.
Once
there was
a Marley in the running, yeah, you kind of had an idea who was going to get it.
Right. But this is a clear indication that things are changing because, like I said, there were 4 Marleys in the category. Skip, Ziggy, who else? Julian, next one too, and none of them got nominated.
Wow.
Ziggy, I think, yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So, you know, it tells you that it's changing.
Yeah. Well, what is coming up for Marty? What does the future hold for Marty, the Hawaii's reggae music ambassador?
Well, now that the world is beginning to open up again, I'm hoping to get out there and, you know, promote my songs. I'm working on a project right now in South America with some musicians from Argentina on a benefit album for the victims of COVID, people who lost their parents or lost their job or whatever. And it's a collective of musicians and famous singers from different countries in South America, Argentina, Brazil, Colombia. I have 2 songs on the album and a duet with another artist from Argentina. So I'll be touring South America for sure. In this coming year. And then, I mean, for me, it's kind of like the world didn't really open up back fully for me. It's because I'm in Hawaii, and Hawaii's still pretty tight on the COVID stuff.
Right.
But I realized that for me to get out and promote my music, I really need to get on a plane and get out of here. So I've just been waiting for the right moment to book tours and stuff. So I'll be, you know, and I've got 3 albums coming out in 2022. So there'll be a lot of new music, and hopefully the fans will be able to see me.
Yeah.
I was talking to Pluto Shervington about coming down to his show in February down there in Miami. So you never know. I might pop my face up in Miami in February.
Well, I hope you get to make it so we can hang out a little bit.
Me too. For sure. I got to meet you in face-to-face for sure.
Yeah, man. For real. Bring some of that Hawaiian love across this side, you know?
Yeah, that's what. I'll definitely do that.
All right, so
I'll talk extra.
please. So 10 minutes to the top of the hour, and I know you're out with the kids, and listen, that shot that you showed me earlier. What was that? A starfish? You out on a boat? You out at an aquarium? What's going on?
No, I'm here with my 2 children and at the aquarium, the Maui Ocean Center. So I was standing next to a tank.
Yeah.
So I figured I would just put that on the screen while I was waiting for you to interview me.
Nice. I haven't been to an aquarium in a minute. Boy, go on enjoying the kids, while you can. It's good that they have you, and it's great, even better that you have them, and you can get share this experience and this moment. A bright, sunny day in Hawaii. You look like you're having beautiful weather.
Yes, today is an excellent day, actually. Wonderful day.
Nice. Well, I'm going to bounce through some Marty Dread tunes. Do you have any favorites of your own music?
I do. Actually, my favorite album of mine was from about 8 years ago. It's called It Sometimes Rains in Paradise. Mm-hmm. That's my favorite album. Any song from that album is my favorite song. That was, to me, my most special album. Because I got to work with some of my heroes like Sly and Robbie and Pluto Shervington and, people who I always revered.
Yeah.
So that album there is a great one for me. It Sometimes Rains in Paradise. Particularly the second song, Search I.
Mm-hmm.
Search I is about a border search that happened. My band was going into Canada and then coming back into America. And they just tore apart all of our stuff, took apart suitcases, and even the eyeglasses case got opened and searched. And so that album, It Sometimes Rains in Paradise, is my favorite one.
Oh,
the title track and the second song, It's Search I, in particular, are really, really good songs.
All right. So I just my last Saturday stew, I played that track, that collab that you did with Pluto.
Nice.
For, Sending Flowers, which I used to play that the single that Pluto did, and I didn't know he did a collab with you until I got this, and I was like, "What? No, I got to run this." So it's good that you did that collab. I spoke with Pluto years ago. He's been
here in my home. He's been here in my home in Hawaii a couple of times now. We've become good friends over the years.
Nice. I'm looking forward to visiting Hawaii. I am. Smiley says, "Love you, Marty. Sweetest guy. Most people will lay you with flowers." She goes. Smiley says, "Marty greeted me with the biggest mango." And great country reggae album too. Now, I know that mango story. And I'm gonna have to bring you back so you can share that mango story with everybody else. But yeah, that when people get a mango and they don't know whether they should place it on a mantelpiece as a trophy or eat it, you know.
Well, the mango was huge, as big like somebody's head. It needed to be put on a pedestal. It was a beautiful piece of fruit.
Yeah, it should be immortalized in some way. Marty, I wanted to introduce this song so that this will be the song that takes us up to the commercial break at the top of the hour. I wanted to introduce No to Monsanto for me, please. Oh, but before you do that,
all right,
your contact information. How can people get your music? How can people reach out to you?
I have 21 albums on iTunes and Spotify and all of that. So there's a lot of content for me on the internet just by searching my name, Marty Dread, D-R-E-A-D, of course. And I have a website. It's martydread.com. And I also have Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all of that stuff. I'm pretty
accessible
social media stuff. So I'm always posting stuff, music stuff mostly. So I'm easy to find on the web. If anybody searches for Marty Dread, they'll find me.
Yeah, I used one of your younger pictures as the display image for you as we were chit-chatting. But it works nonetheless. People, check him out, okay. Marty Dread. Introduce No to Monsanto for me, please.
All right, South Florida. This is Marty Dread, the reggae ambassador, giving you this song, No to Monsanto, featuring Sly and Robbie on drums and bass. This is a message to you to watch what goes in your body and watch what you buy. Your power is in your pocket. This is No to Monsanto, South Florida. My love enough.
Now here comes another musical transmission. Roots Operation Intelligent Rebellion. I'm coming out to alongside the president. Talking to the nation.